Welcome to another cycle of Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions, a family podcast created for the next generation. Grandma Smarge can't wait to see what you'll become, Monk and Little Al. Live, pre-recorded from our family laundry room, with Smarge, Haas, and sometimes Otter, and always not the real guest. Here we hang it on the line with everyday ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. In the room where famous people are loved, adored, and admired, however, not invited. Except for the great Willie Nelson, of course. Thanks for joining us in the laundry room while we fold through life's journeys. Here, we're keeping it real, washing through stains, and making colors a little bit brighter.
Well, hey there, Smarge.
How are you, Haas?
How's it going?
It's going good. How about you?
It's going fabulous, honestly. I am really behind on my laundry, though.
So why do you think you're behind?
I think I just have a lot going on, you know?
Is it fun stuff? Are you having too much fun?
This wedding planning stuff is a lot of work. It's actually a lot of fun, but it's very time consuming. So I need to figure out how to do laundry and wedding plan at the same time. It's not that hard. Actually, I don't think I've ever told you this. Most of the time when I edit these podcasts, I'm doing laundry.
Nice.
Which I think
that is a great
kind of
idea.
ironic.
And, you know, I was also going to advise that next time you come over, if you're behind on your laundry, bring your laundry. Because we have 2 washer and dryers here.
Actually,
and we can do
really
some laundry.
should have done that. That would have been a good idea.
You know.
How are you on your laundry situation?
I'm caught up. I was behind for a while, but I'm all caught up.
Yeah. Well,
And have been having a lot of fun with the grandsuds.
yeah, good.
Yep. We have one staying with us just for a little bit.
Good.
And that's been fun. What do you think? Poppy's joining us. Poppy
Yeah,
G is in the
Poppy
room.
G, back in the podcast room.
I'm back.
He's back, and he's
Holy.
going to be with us on this podcast tonight,
I am.
which is a nice treat. He is not taking care of Willie Nelson.
No, thank God.
He's our favorite guest.
Yeah.
We love having him on, but now he's a guest host this evening. So thank you for being on.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, how's it been going with the grandsuds lately?
Oh, just crazy, just busy. Now they're nearly talking and running wild and want to do everything I do, climb every ladder I get out, get into every tool I get out. So
Yeah.
nuts.
It's the first time I've ever heard Poppy say, I think I need to think about retiring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you want to retire and play with the grandsuds, I think that's a great retirement plan.
Don't have to go to the gym.
That's very true. That's very true. They keep you on your toes.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
I do.
And then how was your anniversary trip to Hawaii, you guys? That was your
It was
30th
awesome.
anniversary?
It was fun. It
No,
was
28.
really nice.
28.
I have a small confession. It was a lot of fun. It was just Poppy and I came home with a UTI. So
So that's good.
we had a
So
very
had a little
nice,
too much fun.
we had a very nice time together.
Good.
How's that?
That's
But no,
great.
we love that island. It's the big island, Hawaii, and it's just great. My dream is to get the family there for a family vacation.
Yeah.
It's where the Duck Dynasty took their family vacation.
Oh, yeah?
Did you ever watch Duck Dynasty?
I haven't, but
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
You can watch it and you can see the hotel we stayed at.
That's
So
cool.
it's great. You get to swim. They have this little lagoon. They have turtles in there and all kinds of fish, and you can swim with them. You don't have to be. I don't think we went to the pool once, did we?
No.
No, we just
didn't.
went to the saltwater lagoon.
Lagoon.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
Okay, so you have both options. You
Yeah.
have either one.
yeah,
Cool.
and
Oh, how
I
fun.
loved it.
That sounds so nice. You guys deserve that.
And it was a straight through flight. Although I forgot how long it takes to get to Hawaii
I know.
from Colorado,
It's a long flight.
which I probably shouldn't be complaining
I know.
because of our guest that's in the room with us.
That's true.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah, that's a good confession actually. I have always wanted to travel to India specifically,
Right.
but the flight I feel like would take forever, and it just feels really daunting. I just don't know.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
lot.
I've heard.
I've heard.
And we have Mochi in the room with us tonight.
Mochi, welcome.
And she is an American living in India.
Yes. Namaste.
Namaste.
And we're just so happy, Mochi,
Like
that
it.
you had time in, because I can't even imagine what it's like when you come home to America. I'm sure you have a lot of visiting to do. So I just want to thank you for taking the time
Thank
to
you.
come and talk with us,
Yeah, thank
because
you for having
we
me.
can't wait to hear about your passion with international traveling and how now you're living in India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. You would have asked me 5 years ago,
Right.
do you see yourself living in India?
Oh, I
I would
know.
have looked at you and said, what the fuck?
Had you been to India?
No.
Oh, you hadn't even been to India.
I
in your
moved to
travels yet.
India blindly.
Wow. No.
Wow.
I have never even stepped a toe in India.
Oh my God.
Well, you must have liked it. You've been there now for 5 years. And what else happened over in India?
Well, 2.5.
Oh, two.
Don't age me that much.
For some reason, I really thought you were there longer than that. It's because
No,
we
'cause
missed you so much.
I wasn't in Colorado. That's maybe
Oh,
why.
okay,
I've been out
okay.
of Colorado for a while.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, 2.5
So,
years.
were you ever interested in going to India though before you moved there, or was it just
I was open to it.
right?
Did you close your eyes and just put your finger on the map?
No, my heart led me there.
Sorry.
It is a love story.
Okay.
Which
Love story straight from the laundry room. Those are the best.
which started actually in Dubai. So I was already very close by, proximity wise, in the
Right.
globe. So I felt India would have been possibly like a natural progression as far as touring, like tourism,
Right.
not moving there.
Right.
So
Like, what's the flight from Dubai to India?
4 hours, 3
Oh,
hours.
okay.
3 or
So-
4
oh.
hours. Yeah.
So what were you doing in Dubai? You were just hanging out?
I was, just hanging out.
Yeah.
I liked it there, and it's easy to get a tourist visa
Yeah.
as a Westerner. So
And
I
you
was
just
there.
chose or Dubai. You just chose that and thought, I'm going to try this.
Yeah,
You didn't know anybody,
I did. So I
Okay.
went there.
but
It's
still.
kind of a long story, but yeah, I ended up there on a short vacation. Ended up having, really loving it, and was like, I want to try this for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So came back home, packed my stuff, and went back to Dubai.
Oh, nice.
Wow. So how long were you there then in total?
On and off, like over about a year.
Okay.
On and off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So before Dubai, had you lived abroad before?
I have.
Okay.
I lived
Do
in
tell.
England.
Oh, nice.
No, there's a good country. There you go.
Yeah, here we go.
Now we get. Now we're talking.
What about Old Blighty? Is that
Yeah, whole bloody.
What part of England then were you in?
all over? I was in East London.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's around East London that I'm sure the East End, but I'm trying to figure out where it is in London. Like, what's a big
It's on the east.
yeah.
Oh, is it? Is it?
There was not much.
Is there a big cathedral or anything? Or,
I mean, there's a cathedral everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's England.
It was not much. It was the people that made it feel like.
We always had a saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's,
that's
I
neat.
bet.
Yeah.
there's a church for every week of the year and a pub for every day.
That's fair.
It was
And I-
very fair.
I believe that. I
Yes.
believe that for a minute. That's great. And how long were you in England for then?
I mean, on and off for a few years. The longest stint was over a year.
And was that another thing where you're like, I just want to try to live somewhere else?
Yeah, followed my heart there too.
Oh,
Oh, another love
Little
story.
confessional.
yeah. Is this the same, or is this a different person?
It's different.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. What did you like most about England?
Honestly, it's the people that I met.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge collective of people.
Yeah.
And it was, everybody was so welcoming and friendly. And I just made a huge group of friends there.
Yeah.
Was it nice not having the language barrier, or do you really notice that when you travel? Because you've traveled so much.
Actually, that's a great point. It was nice not to have the language
Was it?
barrier.
Yeah.
Now that living in India, I realize there's a huge language barrier.
You could probably make friends a whole lot easier in
Yeah.
England than you could in India.
Absolutely.
How many dialects are there in India?
I think over 200.
Yeah, it's mind blowing how many different.
Okay, so you've lived abroad 3 different times,
Yes.
and I want to know what is in your childhood, or how did you grow up, or like, because not a lot of people
Have that
have
like,
that
desire for adventure.
drive, desire,
Yeah.
so young to go. I'm gonna get out of here and try it here, and then I'm gonna go back home, and then
Especially Colorado people. Smudge hasn't lived outside a 5-mile radius.
That's true.
That's nice too. I mean,
I've been around the world.
Yes, you have.
But,
Yeah.
but I have not been to India. But no, if I don't see the foothills, I don't think I'm home.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To each their own.
that's how I
Right.
feel. But what do you think it was about your childhood that did you travel a lot? Were there a lot of family vacations?
Absolutely not. Maybe that's why.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Well, there we go. We're getting into it now.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Do you remember as a young child kind of feeling like, well, they're going on a summer vacation or a family vacation. Why aren't we? Or did you feel left out? Do you remember having that feeling?
Yeah. I feel like you could be my therapist.
Never really thought about it.
Yeah, now that you mention that, I used to see families like going on family vacations, like when you're a kid, like Disney World, Disneyland, and you're like, why can't I go? You know?
Why aren't we going?
Yeah.
And then some families just didn't have the funds or, the ability to do it. Now, are you from Colorado?
No, I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Jersey.
I'm a
Where's
Jersey
that
girl.
accent?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got rid of that.
I love it.
I love the Jersey accent.
Does it ever come out once in a while?
When
No.
you drink, maybe?
No, actually, now my brother says now I have an Indian accent sometimes.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
that's
wow.
what happens to us when we stay in some place for a while, right?
Yeah, I don't see it, but
Right. Well, everybody says that Poppy still has an English accent, and I do not hear it.
How do you not
hear it?
That's what people say. How do you not? And I just don't hear it.
It's very, very
The only
apparent.
time I know that I'm up against his accent is when he said something, and I'm like, I have no idea what he just said. So he must be heavy into his accent. So slow it down, and then I'll figure it out. But no, I don't really hear it. Isn't that weird?
Well, you guys have been together for so long.
So back to your therapy session.
yeah.
So what was your first trip? Like, did you do a high school? Like sometimes they have those senior trips, or were you able to travel at all in school?
no, I didn't even do the senior trip.
Wow.
I don't think I had a desire then. I didn't.
Did your
Okay,
parents
when did-
travel a lot?
Yeah.
Or?
No.
Huh.
When did you figure out I want to travel somewhere?
So I remember when I was 14, I had a dream that I went to London. And I woke up and I was like, I need to go to London.
What?
Nice.
It was very strange.
Whoa.
Nice.
It's a very profound dream.
That's
Right.
I just remember that
It
I
must
just
be.
went to London.
Yeah.
And then for 4 or 5 years, I was just fixated on that. Like, I just need to go to London.
So you were manifesting
Wow.
London.
Interesting.
You were
Calling.
working on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it was obviously the right decision. Yeah. It sounds
Yeah.
like you had a great time out there.
I did.
Well, that's a really interesting subject what you brought up, because you didn't do anything as a kid, go on vacation anywhere, and that's the same as me. And so I just came from a very small farming area, and we went up the coast, maybe 20 miles was about the furthest we ever went on a family vacation. And I got the bug bad, and I've still got it at 60. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
not as bad as it was, but yeah, it was. But mine was vice versa. Mine was I need to live in America.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Do you remember when you first got your traveling bug, what trip made you, or what you saw? Was it something you heard about, or was it?
It was when I was working for Metal Box, and then they started to move me overseas, and I started off in Spain, then ended up in Singapore and Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
So that's when it happened to me, and I was only about 28, 30.
And you didn't feel like, oh my God, I don't want to travel again.
No,
You loved
no,
it.
I loved it.
Yeah. I think once you start, you can't stop.
Is that how
Really
you felt
can't,
going over
yeah.
to London? Like you didn't feel like the flight was too long and
No, I
You
was
just
so excited.
excited? You're right.
Yeah. I was so
That is
excited.
awesome.
I think I had the opposite experience. I feel like I've always had the love to travel and find new places, but I think it's because my family always traveled. We always had the benefit of going to international countries every year. Like my dad was a huge traveler in his own work. He would travel on his own.
That's one of those families you were jealous of, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
probably.
think so.
And
Bit
then-
envious.
Yeah, we would just take family trips all the time, all over, and so that just sparked even like I can't even remember how young I was when I was like, oh, this is just how life is. You just find new places and you just go. But I think I just thought that was normal. So I don't know. I think it just comes in waves. So it's just shocking. That's why it's so shocking to me.
That's
think
what
that
I
like
think.
you weren't even exposed to it, and then one day you're like, I just need to just be everywhere.
Yeah.
Just happens like that.
Did you? And you had grandparents in your life.
Yeah, I did.
Did they travel a lot?
Actually, they did. They were pretty well traveled.
Okay.
So maybe it
and you were
skips a
close to them.
generation.
Not extremely.
Well.
I'd say moderately, but
But
not
would you hear
extremely.
stories about them traveling? And do you remember that as a child?
Somewhat. I remember towards the later years, it was a lot of cruises, which coincidentally, I don't have a desire to ever go on a cruise.
Yeah,
Right.
those aren't as fun as.
Well, they haven't had a good run lately. There's always something going on a cruise, right? That isn't great.
No.
So yeah, riverboat maybe, so we can see each side.
Yeah.
If you had to swim, float, you could.
Yeah. My friend actually went on a riverboat down the Nile for 5 days and had the time of her life.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That sounds hot.
Like sweaty hot?
Oh, yeah.
Or hot, hot?
No,
Like
like
steamy
hot, miserable hot. I'd do Alaska rivers, or I probably don't have a lot, but that would be a way to see things, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Well, maybe through your grandparents or something. Did you have both sets with you, your mom and your dad's grandparents? Or
Primarily just my mom's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I wonder if that's where it came from.
Maybe.
Did you do a lot of reading
No.
when you were younger, or fantasy reading, like Fairyland? Or
No.
you just got the bug, and that was it.
Got the bug.
I do want to hear about this love story that brought you to India, though, if we can skip
yes.
around a little bit.
Yes, we
but
can. So
I'm really
So
anxious
you've gone to
hear
London,
more about
England,
India.
you've come back, you've gone again, come back, and then you were in Dubai, came back from Dubai, then in Dubai. Is this the first or second time?
Have so many questions about Dubai too.
Oh,
but
yeah. Please fire away. I'll answer.
Well, I just want to know, did you meet him the first? Did your heart fall in love the first time in Dubai or the second time?
Both times in Dubai. But,
Oh.
But
No.
two different. I told you, it's a long story.
I know. But for my now husband, I met him. I was more or less living in Dubai. And he was living in the U.S., but coming back from India. And this was during COVID.
Oh.
So he couldn't transit direct from India to U.S. You had to stop in what they called like a green country to quarantine.
And you were in Dubai during during 2020?
This was 2021.
So America picked these countries that you could
I don't know how it was
contaminate other
determined.
people. Is it
Yeah.
just America? Like you just contaminate this country before you come to ours?
Yeah, I guess so.
To me, you would want to stop less during a pandemic. The less you stop, the less it spreads.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
That
But,
makes sense.
It sounds a little too simple, but anyway, okay, so go ahead.
The world
So
was so chaos then.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
it's
think
during
they
a
were thinking all
pandemic.
the way through. I don't know.
They were just making up rules left
Yeah,
and right.
they don't know what they were doing.
Changing rules, making them up.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting sick. Didn't matter.
Didn't matter when
yeah,
or where.
true.
But
Anyway.
he was stopping over and I was on the apps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I saw him on the app and he did put on his profile that he was only in Dubai for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I said,
He wasn't looking for anything serious.
Yeah, that's what that means. Not
Right.
looking for anything serious.
Right.
And I said, I literally in my mind looked at it and said, this is gonna be the guy I fall in love with if I meet him.
Oh my God. You thought
Wow.
that?
Yeah, there's just something about the leaving part. Like, watch. Like, yeah. Like, watch. He's gonna leave and then I'm gonna fall in love with him.
That's so good. I like that.
It's almost
Yeah.
like you're testing your heart. Like,
And it's-
can I live
Yeah.
with this person? Oh, I can't. So I guess I love him.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I wasn't gonna meet him. He was like, come on, just 1 cup of coffee. So yeah, I met him and the rest is pretty much history. We didn't part ways. He was there for 2 weeks. We stayed together for 2 weeks and then he flew back to the US and was like, do you want to come back to the US? And to be fair, my visa was about to run out and I needed to get vaccinated
Oh, okay.
to
Right.
keep traveling
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't get vaccinated in Dubai at the time because I was on a tourist visa. They were not vaccinating tourists,
I
just
see.
residents.
Okay.
So in order to keep traveling, I was like, okay, I guess I got to get this vaccine. So he's like, come to the U.S. So he left, and then 6 days later, I was on a flight to the U.S. to see him.
Oh my God. Wait, so what part of the U.S. did he live in?
California,
That's hilarious.
Okay. Wow.
San Francisco.
Holy cow. At least that's a cool place.
Right?
It'd be one thing if he's like, I live in Kansas. You're like, I'll see you in a few years.
No thanks. I'm
No,
good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you flew back, and then did you guys just move into like how quickly
Essentially,
did things?
yeah. I moved. So he was living in like a roommate situation by choice. He's a very social person. So he was living like in a house with several roommates in Berkeley. And I just kind of just moved in. I think he
Yeah.
initially told him I was going to be there for 2 weeks. It ended up 2 months. I just didn't leave.
The guest that never left.
But it was a chill household. And then, we
Yeah.
stayed there for a couple months and then decided, hey, I think it's time. Let's get our own place. So we got our own place.
That's amazing. That's crazy how quickly everything
Yeah.
evolved. And it sounded like you just knew it was right. And
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So then we got our own place. And then unfortunately, there was a death in the family on his end.
Oh, no.
So it pretty much called for him
To go out
to
to
come
India?
home. Yeah.
Okay.
Like come home because
Oh, gosh.
they have a family business and so and also just to be with his family too, right? During
Right.
such a hard time. So it happened very quickly. You know, we moved in and then essentially he had to go back to India. I stayed here. And then that relative did pass away.
Oh.
So essentially had to make a very quick decision of, I need to move back to India. Will you come with me?
Right.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Wow.
Okay.
That's massive.
And this was within like
Massive.
how many months of you guys living together?
I mean, I was moving to India with him only less than 7 months after meeting him.
Oh man, when the heart knows, the heart knows.
Yeah,
I
right.
know,
That's
yeah.
the way it goes. Okay.
Honestly,
Yeah, thank you.
No judgment. No judgment. I think
And
that's
it's just
beautiful.
the way it
Yeah.
goes.
I think that's amazing. You obviously made the right decision. You guys are
Yeah,
married
he's
now.
now my husband, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
also,
awesome.
the fact of just jumping in like all the whole way, like
Yeah.
not just kind of half-assing it or
I
whatever.
love
you know?
it.
You're
Imagine
gonna
if you
jump into
didn't
it.
do that. Like,
So you're probably not a person that really sits and goes, "Gosh, I wish I would have tried that." You sound like when you have an idea, you're in. You're all
Right.
in.
Yeah, there was no hesitation.
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I was like, yes. And he's like, do you want to think about this a little bit?
What
Like,
a
no.
great trait to have.
I envy that.
How many
in
people
you
just think too
entirely.
much
Yeah.
to where it drives you nuts, right? Or or you think, sometimes I think about something too much. To where I'm like, oh my God, why am I making this so difficult?
Yeah,
So
Although-
that's great. So he was a little surprised, but very happy.
yeah, he was very happy,
That's
even though
awesome.
everybody was in the throes of grief.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he also was coming with his support as
Yeah.
well that he has found.
Yeah,
So that was the first time like meeting his family too. That you going like how overwhelming was that for you going over there for the first time? You've never been to India. You're meeting his whole family. There's a death in the family.
yeah. It was intense.
Yeah.
So he came back. We sold everything, packed up everything into like 5 suitcases, got on the flight, got there, and essentially went straight to his parents' house and stayed there.
Wow.
Like I just
Wow.
was.
But you
meeting
weren't
his parents.
married, correct?
Correct.
How
Yeah.
was that? That's okay. Here's Smarge's question.
There we go. There it is.
Here it is. Now it's time. I'm just wondering, what's it like? I mean, even here in America, some people, it's a personal choice whether it's okay to live together before you get married or whatever. But of course, it's become more acceptable. What is that like in India?
Yeah.
In India, in my experience and what I've seen, that doesn't happen.
Oh,
Really?
it just
Ever.
does not.
Yeah. You,
Really?
You generally, you are separate until you're married.
See, wow. That would be so weird. I feel like you learn so much about somebody before you
So,
get married.
when you moved over and
When
you
you
were going to
move in,
stay
I
with
mean.
his parents, did you have separate bedrooms then?
So
How did that go?
here's the confessional. So
Oh,
on
okay.
the-
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Here's some dirty laundry.
So the first night, his mom asked us to sleep apart. So there was a downstairs bedroom and then the upstairs where I stayed.
Mm-hmm.
That stuck for one night.
I thought you were gonna say you snuck down there.
Yeah. Did it even, did you make it the whole first night?
I
Or
think
did
so from
someone
what I
sneak around?
remember.
Okay.
I think we were still like texting. But
You're probably like,
Oh,
this is ridiculous. We've been in separate countries and now we're in the same house. What is happening?
yeah. But you got to be respectable. You know?
Oh,
Right.
I think it's
Absolutely.
really nice that
Absolutely.
you were listening to what they asked of you.
Yep.
So at what point did they find out that you guys just you weren't
that?
going to be able to do that? You weren't going to do this family rule. Maybe they could find something else for you to
I mean, honestly,
follow.
we just started sleeping in the same bedroom and nobody said
Nobody
anything.
talked about
Yeah.
it.
No,
Oh, there's
they just brushed it under the rug. I don't think they knew how to talk about it.
I was gonna say that seems
Well,
like
if it never happened, what material do these parents have? How old are they? Like at this point?
50s, 60s.
They have nothing, I don't think, except for Bollywood and what they read in hot novels, maybe. Like, how would they even know to start that conversation? But I would love to hear the conversation between the two of them.
I would too.
Like,
yeah.
I think that maybe they are in the same room now. Like, I don't think
I would
they
love
they're
to
in a room
too.
anymore.
They
You
knew.
know?
Because I don't
And I hope
understand
they-
what they're saying either.
I
don't
hope they
speak their language.
But I hope they at
Do they
least talk
speak
to each other.
English? They don't speak any English.
So his mother.
Nothing?
So his mother does speak.
Did you ask this before you went over? You knew this.
Yeah, I knew
Okay,
this.
Okay.
So his mother does speak very, very limited English.
Okay.
Small words, phrases. And obviously she's learned from me the more that her and I have conversed.
Right.
But his father's a little less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very. So how much?
Gee,
Indian
imagine that. A man
or-
set in his ways.
What language they speak?
So it's Telugu.
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 Okay.
Telugu.
How fluent are you in Telugu?
So I can understand more than I can speak.
Okay.
That's impressive. That's
So,
very impressive.
I can identify the language when it's being spoken because, like you said, there's like over 200
Dialect.
dialects, but I
right.
can
Yeah.
pick out Telugu if someone's speaking it, and I can pick out words. And there's also certain words that don't exist for Telugu, so there are English words used in conversation, but they're dropped in like infrequently because there's just no Telugu word for them.
Oh,
So I can get the context if I pick up on like an English word.
Okay.
I can kind of get the context, and I do know some Telugu words.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow, that's impressive.
I took lessons, and then it
Yeah.
just got too difficult, and so I'm on a hiatus, guys.
I was just gonna say, can you share some Telugu words with us? But you don't have to.
I hear you. Your brain can only handle so much at a time, really. You have to be careful.
Yeah.
I can say so. Na Peru Mochi, which is like my name is
Mochi.
Mochi.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, but
But it's
it's
important. You need to know that.
Yeah, the kind of the way it's structured though, when you're translating it to English, you're kind of speaking like Yoda.
Oh, it's
so
all
like-
backwards, sort of.
Yeah, like
Yoda. Is this a Star Wars thingy?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, sorry, I don't
Kinda
even
like
know much
that's
about.
okay.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
Chubawa.
So does he speak backwards? Yoda.
Oh, sort of. Yeah.
Okay. But you
Yeah.
can get it because you know the words. You just have to put them in a different order.
Order. Yeah. So like in
Okay.
how it translates, like if they're speaking something in Telugu, is kind of like name my what, or like
Yeah,
Right.
instead
yeah.
of what's your, or
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
it doesn't translate out.
Yeah.
That would be
Completely.
even harder.
Okay, so you move in. There's a language barrier. How was the first meeting, though? Meeting the parents? And-
Oh, very
because
pleasant.
it's
Yeah.
I'm visualing kind of like a stressful time in their life because you said there was a loss in the family, and so I'm expecting them not at their best or whatever. And now, are you kidding me? My son is bringing home somebody from America, and she's going to live here. But they were. You just said they were pleasant.
They were extremely the most welcoming, gracious people.
Oh.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
And that's with a lot of that culture.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
well,
that-
namaste.
Yes.
I
They
was-
really mean it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, because I feel like this is only in the movies I watch. There's always this like idea that like Indian men should be with Indian women. Is that not the case? Like, is that not what they believe? Is that
I think it
Something
might be
made up
some
in Hollywood?
moms with-
I mean, in this day and age, times are changing.
they don't care? Okay,
I think his parents don't care.
right,
Yeah.
but it's still
but
prevalent.
there's probably
It's still extremely
Right.
prevalent
there. Right.
because I also understand why now.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
it's like
why?
the culture's so ingrained and goes so deep. And there's many
Oh.
things that I didn't understand or didn't want to partake in, or, I can't even speak the language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I can get why parents might want that
yeah.
for their,
Yeah.
their child.
I can too, to a certain extent, because you're coming into a family. You're not just marrying one person, you're marrying the whole family, so you have to get along with them, you have to be able to speak to them.
Correct.
So like I get it too, but I wasn't sure if that was still something that there was tension between you and them with that, but obviously there's not.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They were very, very accepting.
Good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Isn't arranged marriages, or is that more of a religion?
You read my mind. I was going to bring that up.
Oh, great
Okay,
question.
Because I don't,
Yeah.
and I honestly, here's a confession. I don't know if arranged marriages come from culture or come from a religion. I don't
Great
know.
question. I don't know either.
It's more culture.
Culture.
Yeah.
what I've
Okay.
seen.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought,
it's a
yeah.
cultural thing.
So what were you going to say about arranged marriages?
I was just going to bring up the topic, but
Oh,
I
okay.
was at first going there being from the West. You look at that and you'd be like, why are you being forced to marry someone
Yeah.
that you might not love?
Right.
I didn't understand that concept.
What's
Yeah.
love got to do with
Right.
it? You know what I mean? I think they're looking at, like you had just said, they want to keep their culture alive.
Yeah.
And
But
how do
now
you do that?
I get it now completely.
Yeah.
I've seen these arranged marriages and they get down to every nitty gritty detail and the compatibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it-
their
it
success
works.
rate
Yeah,
is
and it's not
phenomenal.
taken lightly. Yeah.
Like, it's
So-
better than ours.
It is. It's
So-
definitely better
Okay,
than love
here's a
marriage.
question for everybody in the room. So everybody has to give me what you would like the most. So you first are NTRG this evening. If you had the option of meeting your future husband, if you weren't married yet, online on one of those dating sites or whatever, or an arranged marriage, what would you have chose for yourself?
Oh, I'd still stick with online.
I feel like that's a hard question.
Maybe I'm
to
just
answer
tired.
because
Well, sorry, but okay. So what would you say, Haas? What would
Well,
you do?
obviously I'm very happy with the person I'm with. I don't think I understand the question. You're saying,
Well, it's kind of like, what if you had a choice of how you met your future
oh,
person? Would it be an arranged marriage or would it be online?
I
Like those are your
misunderstood the
choices.
question.
Oh,
I thought
sorry.
it was like, do you want to be with your husband or would you rather have an arranged?
No, that's for a different
And I was like,
podcast.
what?
No, wrong
That's
podcast.
Not a good question. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No, do you see what I mean? Like, I think I know what most people would choose, but what would you choose?
I honestly hate the dating apps because I met my future husband on the dating apps too, and it's like they're awful, and you feel so shallow and like dirty. I hate
See, I
it.
was wondering about that because arranged marriage, at least these people they are only looking out
For your best interest,
for their baby, their child. That's who,
and they know
and who would
everything
be
about
better
you.
to help pick.
Yeah,
If they're stable and if everything's going
Yeah,
well and
right.
everything. I mean,
like
you know,
my
in
mom.
general.
My mom would be she would definitely choose a good person for me. So like if that was,
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what would you pick? So what you would pick?
if it was between the apps
Mm-hmm.
and my mother choosing
Mm-hmm.
my future husband, probably my mom. Yeah,
Okay.
she would actually probably do a pretty good job.
How about you, Poppy G?
That's a
I'm
good
too
question.
old for that. I don't know what these apps are and all that.
Do I need to remind you of a couple apps
Trust
I
me,
found on your
They're
phone?
awful. They're awful.
Poppy knows
I
that.
don't know. I mean, I want to get onto this topic. It's like the marriage thing. I honestly don't know about that. But
Just marriage in general.
yeah.
We did just celebrate our 21st year of marriage, but
21st.
okay. So
I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I have no idea of that. But
I just
I
think
think-
being older, I would rethink it, right?
yeah, probably.
And I would think maybe arranged in a way because what I had said, I don't know if that would have occurred to me when I was younger, but wait a minute, these people have my best interest.
Yeah.
That's a very good
mine.
point. Very good point.
I don't know.
It probably
How would you
feels-
felt if you would have became a farmer?
It'd have to be a bloody big farm. Then I'd be happy.
Then you'd be happy? Okay.
Yeah, big ass farm.
Because that's who you would have met. You would have met a future farmerette, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably.
Somebody that wears
yeah.
hunter wellies and barber jackets.
Yeah, I
That would
picture like a younger Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
in
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
what was her car? A Land Cruiser or something?
Yeah.
Shotgun in the back. And,
Land Rover.
Yeah.
Land Rover.
Heels and wellies.
Yep. I would have done that. That would have excited me. Well, I don't
To
know.
marry the Queen?
Well, yeah, to marry the Queen. That would have been,
To date the
yeah,
Queen? To be
that
the
would've
Queen
been
of
nice.
England?
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys would be a good match, maybe.
But
I mean,
Yeah,
those
those
marriages are
corgis.
kind of arranged.
it's very-
That's true.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They
that's
can't
marry
just, well,
anyone.
Yeah.
obviously it's a deal if you just go out and marry anybody. Because who was it? Meghan.
Meghan
and-
Markle and
And Harry, yeah. Hey, you guys, if you're listening to this, Little Al and Monk in 20 years, I don't know what's going on with them now, but it's a good story. So you should look
Yeah.
it up.
look it up.
Mm.
But anyway, that's crazy. Did you answer? You didn't answer dating apps or arranged marriage.
I think I interrupted Poppy too. Sorry
Oh.
about that.
Oh no, I think arrange would be. I don't know. Arrange would be a good way to go because, like you say, everybody have your best interest at heart, which is nice. But saying that, this is a topic I want to talk to you about, is the excitement to me is like when you go and live in India, like when I lived in Singapore, I was so excited to learn the cultures, but you're even better off than I was because I was an expat. So expats are spoiled, and Singapore's a very spoiled
Yeah.
type of environment for expats because it's English speaking pretty much.
Right,
And then
right.
they're trying to bring Mandarin in. But I'd love the idea that you live in rural India, really, in like a regular Indian person does. You're not an expat.
Right.
And I think that's so exciting to me that you're not an expat because, like I say, expats, when I was an expat, I was spoiled.
Yeah.
Everything was on expenses, blah, blah, blah.
I say I'm an immigrant
You're an immigrant, yeah.
to India.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are.
Okay.
And I think
Okay.
it excites the hell out of me what you're doing because I would
Yeah.
love to learn the culture of India and live in
Yeah.
real India. It's like,
Sounds so exciting.
I would love that. Like when we go to Mexico, it's okay, it's Cabo, but I still love being there, not just because it's Cabo, but I just love to get in we don't really do the touristy stuff. I love to be in the culture of Mexico. Where do you guys eat? What do you do?
Yeah.
What happens on this day? What happens?
Just kind of not in the like the tourism
Yeah,
bubble
I
kind
don't
of
want-
thing.
yeah,
Talk to
and
the
that-
local.
Right.
That excites me so much. I love that. I did a little bit similar in Brazil as well, and that was really cool. That I wasn't there as I was working there, but we were primarily living in areas where it was just industry. But you learn so much, and that's what I was going to ask you about. What was it like stepping off that airplane and that culture shock? Because we're talking about a big cultural shock. here.
Yeah.
Food, language, population of India is just mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
And how busy it is, and how they commute, and how they don't commute, and the poverty is so bad as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that that must be amazing to experience.
Yeah. I'm kind of having like another realization now of everything you're saying. I'm like, wow, what I did is crazy.
Yeah, I just,
So what-
I just think it's amazing. Well, it excites
question.
me. That's all.
Right.
I'd love to hear that.
I think it was kind of there was definitely like a delayed response.
Yep.
Like you don't feel like this is real.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You
number
get
one.
off. And I think that went off about 3 months after I got there, and I was like, holy shit.
Well, it was so rushed for you to get
Yeah, it was
there
so quick.
too,
And then it's
Yeah.
like all like new and shiny, and like
Yep.
you're trying to figure it out, and then you realize, wow, like there are a lot of differences.
Yeah.
Amazing differences.
Like even just the weather, the population, the food.
Yeah.
So for an example, I would have meat with pretty much every meal here. And going to India, I moved in with a family that was primarily vegetarian. So
Are most families primarily vegetarian? then?
over there, no,
Oh, okay.
it's a mix.
Okay.
Veg or non-veg.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
isn't it true? It depends on the area.
It's
Like,
the area. It
yeah.
could be even your caste.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh.
Wow.
Religion will also dictate
Yeah.
what you can
okay,
and cannot eat.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
So, but that family by choice was primarily vegetarian, maybe chicken dish once a week.
Yep.
I think my body went into shock because just the environment, the diet change, the food,
Yeah, probably.
the
Lots of-
water. Yeah, I was a little sick the first month I got
bet.
there.
Yeah,
I won't
bet.
go. I won't go into too much detail.
I bet.
Nope.
But and then the language I had to get used to for the first time in my life, sitting in a room with people conversing and not knowing what was going on.
Correct.
That would,
It's
yeah.
Really
amazing.
hard.
Yeah, did you feel a sense
Yeah.
of like loneliness?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 I bet.
I would. Yeah,
I could see that.
especially when people were laughing.
Yeah.
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 You're like, what are they talking
And you
about?
want to laugh with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do for that? Or did you find, how did you work through that? Obviously you worked through it. Do you know what helped you through it?
So I talked to my partner because this was new to him too. So please
Yep.
please translate what you can.
Right,
Okay.
When you can.
When you
Yeah.
can, like let me know.
There you go. Communication is
Yeah.
key in any language.
In any language.
or country.
So he would, communicate, let me know, but it's not like I could speak back, especially to his
Right.
parents.
Right.
So
So hard to communicate. And then he has to translate what you say back to
To them.
them. And so it's hard for him probably too. And
yeah, so it's not a normal conversation, and you rely heavily also on eye contact, body language,
yeah.
Yep.
nonverbal cues.
Do you have a big, was there ever a big misunderstanding that comes to mind that you read wrong because you didn't understand the language?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, that's good.
There probably was. I can't remember.
Well, if it
Probably
must not have been
wasn't.
huge then.
Maybe you didn't
or you'd
know.
remember it.
yeah.
So,
I remember when I was in Costa Rica and I had started to develop like a friend group, and they were all Spanish speaking, but they all could speak English, but would speak Spanish primarily with each other. And I was learning Spanish, so I would pick up like 50% of what was said, and I thought I was really getting the conversation. And my friend would turn to me and go like, "Do you know what's going on?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, this person said this person said that, blah blah blah." And he goes, "Not even close." I'm like, "Oh my god!" I swear, I've been following this conversation for like 30 minutes, and it's just draining.
Yeah.
And I still didn't even get it.
Yeah.
And then they would all have to look at me every like 15 minutes to be like,
where are you at? Do you
"Okay,
understand anything?"
we'll repeat everything we just said." I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm such a loser. I can't."
No.
But yeah, I can imagine how frustrating that was for you. So
Yeah,
I'm glad your partner was helpful, at least I think for
Yeah.
majority of it.
It's
But
definitely isolating.
yeah,
And then it's like, so we'd hang out with some of his friends who do know English. I wouldn't say some of them are fluent, some of them are a little less, but it's like, why can you guys please speak in English? But it's just so automatic for them to speak in their
Right.
native tongue. You can't
Right.
fault them for that. Or
Right.
even when my partner would tell a story and I'm like, why didn't you say that in English? And he's like, because it just doesn't convey
oh,
the
not the
words or the
same.
emotion.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it has to be told in Telugu.
yeah,
So, yeah.
Oh, what's
Wow.
the food changes?
Oh, yeah, that was
What-
one of my
in
questions.
the
You talked a little bit about
the
how.
buzz of how many people live in there. What's that like? I mean, and sanitarily wise, it's
Yeah.
not like any Western world. I'm sure. I don't know. I've never been there. So
No. So I had to learn what a bucket bath was when I got there.
God, yeah.
So showers, they do exist, but I started taking bucket baths. So that's where you just fill a water with a bucket of water, just take a smaller bucket and dump it over you. Or even like an Indian toilet, which is in the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're squatting over the ground.
Yeah.
Like what you see in Italy in some places. And yeah.
Yeah.
And they use like a hose, right?
Yeah, we call that a bum gun.
Yeah.
And
Bum gun.
yeah,
That's what they use in Thailand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being
A lot
back
of
home in the
Asia.
U.S., I can say I miss it wholeheartedly now.
Honestly, they're awesome. It's like a bidet.
Yeah.
But you can
Yeah.
aim it. It's
I mean, I'm
awesome.
going to say some Americans are a little dirty in that aspect.
Yeah.
They kind of
I don't
are.
understand why. There for a while, I think in like the 60s, when which you don't call them master bedrooms anymore, you call them principal suites. No, you can't use principal anymore.
Why can't you call? Oh, because
Yeah.
there's some like connotation.
Yeah. So what do they call them? Primary.
Primary, that's it.
Primary suites. In the 60s and I think like up to mid 70s, there was a big push to have like this bathroom with a bidet in it. The master
Yeah.
Primary.
bathroom, primary bathroom. And then I noticed when people would remodel, that would be the first thing to go out. And I'm like, hold on, why can't we give that a shot?
Yeah.
But the bidet would always be like the first thing to go.
Why?
That's sad. That's sad. I think we need to bring the bidet back.
They're great.
Mm-hmm.
They're great.
The bum
And
gun.
wouldn't that save with toilet paper and everything?
Thank
and
you.
the environment?
It's environmentally
And
friendly.
the
That's
sewage.
why I
like
don't
the sewage
understand
system
it.
would
Yeah,
be saved.
yeah. I don't get it. So,
Makes sense.
okay.
Americans are idiots.
Yeah.
Mark is
Anyway.
going to bring back the bidet.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. What other things did you notice, like what you're talking about? Like, honestly, Americans are kind of not that clean about that. And what other
Yeah.
things just like
Whatever cultural differences did you like?
that you can only like see if you live there? Like, do you know what I mean?
Just the lack of, I'd say, personal space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that can't be helped, though. You're in the most populated country in the world.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's, for example, something comes to mind, like if you're here and you bump into someone, you're like, oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
There, just keep walking.
Yep.
Nothing
Yeah.
said or done.
Yeah.
It just happens so
It just
often.
happens.
They
There's just-
can't just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many people.
And what city did you
Yeah.
live in?
Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Have
pretty
to
big
look that
city.
up.
It's a pretty big city.
I looked up. It's pretty far south.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's in a state called Telangana.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a pretty big city. So to put it in perspective for you, have you heard of Mumbai?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big city there,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
called a tier 1 city. So probably being more developed in that aspect. The city I live in is tier 2. So it's right underneath it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we don't call India a third world country anymore.
No.
We say developing country.
Definitely.
Developing.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Well, when you look at the, being English, there's a lot of Indian people live in England. And, they are huge on education. I don't know if that applies to the whole of India or not, but
I think it does.
education, they are just like, they want to be doctors or computer programmers or whatever, but they are just so
Very driven.
Very driven.
Yeah.
Good word. Very driven to improve themselves or improve their country. So
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive, I think.
That's ingrained from a very
Is
young
it?
age.
Is it?
Education and schooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty much like, this is what you're going to be in life. This is the
But
school
now,
you need to go to.
Earlier on,
That's
you had
really
said there's
cool.
a family business, and that's what he had to go home for, correct?
Yes.
So is that common, though,
Mm-hmm.
in India to have a family business, or is it more common to...
I'd say no, from what I've seen. No.
Yeah, I was
What-
just curious, because here it's still, I mean, to have a family business is not
Unusual.
unusual. However, the statistics aren't as high as other businesses, you know? So
Yeah.
I was just wondering, in a developing country like what you just talked about, having your own family business, and obviously something that someone needs to come back and help with, and that's very important. It must be a good business. So I was just wondering if that's something you would see a lot of. Like, do they hang out with a lot of other people that have their own businesses? Or
No, there are a lot of businesses in India though.
Right.
You can just pop up anywhere and call it
Yeah.
anything you want, essentially.
What business was the
Okay.
family business, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure. So they're in textiles, so fabric, saris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's big.
Yeah.
It's big there.
Sure, they're very
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So-
awesome. And they're still running it, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's doing really well.
Cool.
So what's the weather like?
Hot.
All the time.
Yeah. It's like I lived in Florida for a while, and we used to say there's 2 seasons, hot and hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe hot as hell. And it's hot. Yeah. South India's hot. Like
Is it hotter than Florida?
From what I remember, yeah, like it's brutal because not everywhere you go has the infrastructure for air conditioning
Mm-hmm.
as well, like
Yep.
like we have here. So it's hot.
Well, you get that area gets like 40, 45 Celsius very easily.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
can you
Very-
translate for
Yeah, I
us
was going to say,
Americans?
for Americans, what is that?
Yeah.
100.
About 110, 100.
Oh, so hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now-
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do,
That's
do you have air conditioning where you live?
yeah, we do. They're just the individual ones in each room with
Yeah.
a
But
remote.
still,
But-
at least you
Yeah.
have some
it's something.
reprieve. Yeah.
Yeah.
The monsoon season.
Oh, monsoon season.
Yeah.
What is that? Just rains all the
Oh.
time. Yeah.
Oh.
Tell us
Lots
about
of
it. And how
rains.
long does it usually last?
So the monsoon season can start. It can go anywhere from June to probably like September-ish. So just heavy rains. Not as much as other areas in India, but just the downpour and sometimes the flooding.
Yeah.
The way I associate monsoon season, though, however, just because of the moisture and the humidity, is more mosquitoes.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. That's
So
not fun.
I was lucky enough to get dengue.
Oh,
Fever?
No.
Oh,
God.
What do you say in South America? Is it dengue?
Dengue
Yeah,
fever.
something
Okay, I think
yeah,
in India we say dengue.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So what was that like?
That was the most sick I've ever been in my life.
Oh my God. Did you think you were gonna die?
I was scared. They was
Ugh.
talking like hospitalization.
Oh, my God.
Because
Wow.
what
Is that
happened?
one of those, once you get it, do you get it again? Is it like chickenpox or something? Do you build up an immunity?
So this is why it scares me now, and I
Oh,
hate
okay.
mosquitoes.
I
So
don't- yeah.
so there's 4 strains.
Oh,
So if you get reinfected with the strain you had, you're obviously immune.
okay.
The
Oh.
3 other strains are more deadly.
Oh,
If you get it again and it's a
shit.
different strain,
Oh no.
Then it's just
I think
more
it's like a
deadly to your
50%
body.
mortality rate.
Oh.
Oh my God. What?
Is there preventative
high?
that you can do? Or
They just like started it with like a vaccine, but it
But
might
who
be
knows?
for kids.
Yeah.
And I don't,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
So anytime there's like a mosquito in the house, I freak out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the bat, because you have
Bat?
to electricity.
I'd get like a vacuum.
I don't blame you.
I don't-
Suck it up.
That's fair.
Oh, man.
Very scary.
Jeez. Wow. But so overall, it sounds like it's been going well. I mean, do you foresee your guys' future there for the rest of your, for infinity, or what are you guys thinking? Would you ever move back to America?
Yeah, we're looking to move back in 2 to 3 years.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay.
Nice.
India will always have a place in my
Right.
heart.
Yeah.
But I miss the U.S. and I want to be closer to my mom who's aging.
Yeah.
So we figured his parents are able-bodied enough to make the flight over and visit.
Does your mom have parents of her own still, or are they gone?
Oh, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, she'll be 80 next year.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you get married in India or in America?
Wait. I'm looking at her going, were you adopted? Or like, how old was your mom?
When she had me?
Yeah.
41.
Okay.
wow.
I'm sorry. I couldn't
Wow.
let that go. Wow.
That didn't make
I'm
sense
like
to me
looking at
either.
you and she goes, oh, she's gone. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So she'll be 80 next year.
Do you have, you
Wow.
don't have a brother or sister, do you?
2 brothers.
2 brothers.
Older.
Oh, that's right. You said you
In their
went
50s.
Oh, gosh.
Much older.
So were you a little surprised? A little
No,
bundle of surprise.
actually I wasn't.
She
She
just-
wanted a little
She
girl.
wanted a little girl, so she thought, try
Wow.
again. Well, look at that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, that's awesome. But that's why I had to ask. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
But go ahead. What were you asking, Haas? Or-
Did you get married in America
that's
or
right.
India?
India.
Did you
Oh
have
my
an
God.
Indian wedding? Or?
Pictures.
Oh,
So-
I just love that stuff.
I do too. Indian
Love-
weddings
oh,
are gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
I hate to disappoint. We did not do
After you guys go on and on.
we didn't do like the 3-day event.
Yep.
So we ended up doing like a courthouse marriage
Okay. Yeah.
just to get the visa in line for so we did a courthouse marriage. Very simple, very straightforward. It's interesting there because to get anything done in a certain time frame, you got to bribe people. That's just the culture.
Really? Everyone's open to bribes.
Yeah,
so they're like,
everyone's
okay.
open to
Yeah,
bribes.
Yeah.
So, we did like a little courthouse ceremony, as you will.
Yeah.
Few friends got the certificate. And then just recently, we did our reception,
Nice.
which was kind of like a hybrid of like all the 3 like the long Indian wedding in one night.
Oh, how fun!
So, like, how long was it? Like, how long did that last? Like 5 hours, 6 hours?
Yeah, like 7, 8.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, we had
So
like a whole celebration.
do you have
And how
the
many
traditional-
people?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We're too excited.
Yeah.
We had a small reception of about 400 people.
Yeah.
400. That's small
But guys, that is small for India.
for an India
For
wedding.
Indian
Yeah.
wedding, yeah.
I'm just, well, you do have a lot of people. Oh, I never thought about this way. If you live somewhere that overly populated, you have to have a lot of friends.
Yep.
Oh my god.
But it's
yeah.
not, you're not only bringing, your friends are bringing their families
Yeah.
and then their
Right.
cousins' families.
Right.
And like, it keeps going.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody's coming.
So did you even have a say on the guest list? Really, it was just like whoever's coming, is coming.
Well, luckily the venue had a max capacity of 600. So we knew that was the cap.
Oh my god. Well, thank God.
Wow. Wow.
Because a lot of these receptions and weddings take places in convention halls there. So they can accommodate
that large
that
of a
many
crowd.
people.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable.
That's
Love
insane.
it.
And that's just a typical. How much does that run a family? Is this something that like you have a? Do you have a checking account? You have a savings account, and you have who? I'm assuming the parents probably help pay for this.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what a lot of families there, that's what they save for their child's wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
That is like
that's
the most prestigious day.
It's like a big deal.
Yeah,
so
it's a huge
big.
deal.
It's such a part of their culture that, of course, that's what everyone is saving for.
Yeah.
I don't even want to
What
know
does
how
something?
much it
I'm gonna
costs,
ask.
though.
What does something like that?
It depends. Like,
Give us a range. Dude, not of your wedding, maybe. You don't have to give your
you can
Not
have
your way, but,
something.
like-
It depends.
I can't imagine what it would cost here to have 400 people. I don't know what it would cost here.
It could cost, I mean, it depends. I mean, you maybe $30,000, $60,000,
What?
Yeah.
$75,000.
What's India? Is
It depends. It's like how nice is the food you're serving, or
right.
Yeah.
No, you
The
guys, that
flowers
sounds
you're
really
using.
cheap to me.
Yeah, it is.
It,
Yeah,
it like
but
you
it's
could have
India.
that in Colorado for 100 people, but this is like
Yeah.
the nation.
And
But-
everybody bring. Wow.
Still, India weddings, I feel like that's still a destination for people. I mean,
Oh, it is? Wow.
people get married there all the time. I mean,
Do they? Who people? Are you talking about famous people?
India, I don't know.
Who
India.
are you talking about?
I don't know.
Who do we know that's got married in India? I just want to know. Who do you know?
So,
All right, maybe not. I don't
Maybe it's famous people you're thinking of that go over and do the 3-day.
Those
There
exist.
is a famous person that does it. The Jonas Brothers did that. One of the
And didn't
Jonas
Kim
Priyanka
Kardashian?
Chopra?
Didn't Kim Kardashian do it, or one of the Kardashians?
No, they
No.
went to the Ambani wedding. Have you heard of the
Oh,
Ambani
oh,
family?
yeah. I don't really know a lot about it, but
And
did
I don't
follow
know a
that.
lot about the Kardashians, so thank you for correcting
No,
me. So
they
no,
did, and they looked ridiculous. They looked crazy. They were
Yeah.
like all decked out.
They were all decked out.
They had so many diamonds and they bedazzled their whole face with.
They had
is
face
that what
pieces,
everyone looked like?
diamonds.
Was
Yeah.
that what
At that
everyone?
wedding was like $650 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I believe.
Mind
that.
blowing wedding.
That's the richest
But
family
anyway.
in India.
Could you imagine?
Back to your wedding.
Yeah. Wow.
Not my wedding. Not to be confused with the Ambani wedding.
Yeah. Let's
So-
verify.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Hatcher Fly Co. They sell handcrafted flies for all your river excursions. Steelhead, trout, salmon, custom flies, and merchandise. Use the code Dirty Laundry, no space, for 15% off your next order. That's Dirty Laundry for 15% off at hatcherflyco.com. Feel the tug. Did you do henna? Is
Yeah,
that, is
so-
that a thing?
Yeah, so there
Okay.
it's
Oh, I
called
love that.
mehendi.
I think that's so beautiful.
So I got bridal mehendi. I got it. You get it on your feet and your hands,
So
up your
cool.
arms. So I did that a couple days
What's
before.
the story behind that? What does
Or
that mean?
the symbolism or
Yeah, symbolism, or what does that mean?
So usually there is a ceremony, I'd say, or an event, even within the events of the Indian wedding, called haldi, or but it's tied in with mehendi somehow.
okay.
Basically, where you rub turmeric all over the bride and groom to get them shiny and glowing for their wedding day.
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
But there's
turmeric red? And
No, it's
orange?
yellow.
orange.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yellow. Okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking.
But I feel
cumin.
like that
Sorry.
would stain.
It kind of does, but you wash it off and then it
Okay.
gives you that glow. But it's an event where they also do mehendi. But to be honest, I don't know why it's particularly done that way, for the bridal mehendi.
Okay.
Right.
So in the intricate designs, I don't know the exact reasoning. I'm sorry, but
No, that's
it's a
okay.
tradition.
Well, do they have do the dresses, the traditional dresses, maybe the bride would wear? Are they very lacy, or are they more?
So it depends on the event. So for my reception, I did something called a lehenga, which is like a big skirt and a separate top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What color?
I'm just
was it?
wondering if
Red.
the henna and that intricate is supposed to take the place of laciness and stuff, because laces used to be kind of a big deal here for what kind of lace are you having on your bridal dress?
Oh yeah, I
It was
don't
kind
know.
of a big deal. So I was wondering if that intricate type of henna.
That's kind of.
I'm just wondering what it symbolizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should know. I feel like
That's
I
okay.
failed.
No, you shouldn't. No. Just curious.
I know
Because I've seen it and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I know my mother-in-law takes the actual leaf from it's actually a plant that's ground up into a paste.
Yeah.
And she always tells me she does it a lot in the summertime, and it says it cools the body.
Oh.
So it's not
Oh.
I know that, but it's not the designs.
Yeah.
I don't know the reason behind those exact
Right.
designs, but she does a little, she'll put it on her fingertips, on her toes,
So it's,
in the middle of her palm.
it's like a practical reason.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to cool you during your wedding day.
And that makes
That's
sense.
Cool.
Because if you ever want to get cool fast, those are the extremities you're supposed to cool down
Oh,
first.
maybe.
So
Your
Mick,
feet, your hands.
have you ever been to an Indian wedding?
No, I would love to go.
I would love to go.
Have you been to one apart from your own?
Oh my gosh. When I first got there, we were going to one every week.
Oh,
Were you really?
What kind of gift do you bring?
You don't, that's the
Or
thing.
is that not a gift
You don't
thing?
really, you can bring gifts. It's not expected of you like it is in the West.
Oh wow.
So they're not registering somewhere or asking for anything.
Gosh.
That's not a thing. There's more actually pressure on the family to give their guests a gift, a parting gift,
Wow.
Oh, okay.
than there is for the guest to bring a gift
Yeah.
for the bride and groom.
Wow.
Wow.
And us
okay.
Americans just took it down to, we're giving you a free meal. That's your damn gift.
Yeah.
And so you owe us gifts.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
So,
we turned it
dear.
around.
Yeah, dear.
but that's the thing. There's so many people, and they do it. So you'll see weddings really grouped around a specific time because there's auspicious days.
Yeah.
So that's when they want to get, their family married, like on these auspicious days.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
So there's like always like a
interesting.
lot of weddings around a certain time.
So
Okay.
when you go to these weddings, do you go for the 3 days?
No, so I went to
But how do you ask for work off?
no, these were not like they had like separate events on different days and then like kind of came together. There was one wedding. It was actually a friend of mine that lives in Dubai. She's from Switzerland. She married an Indian fellow. And they did like a proper 3-day event.
Yeah.
That was probably the craziest one I went to.
Wow.
And I can't imagine, like, that's like taking your vacation or something. Well, I don't know how it works over in India, but I assume you don't. I mean, your work day is still 5 days a week, correct?
I mean, with my partner and his family business, it's,
Right.
Pretty
But,
good-
but
you can
they're
make it
how many
work.
people were there?
at her wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, 200 to 300 maybe.
yeah.
That's a lot of
There's a
people
lot of people.
I mean,
asking for time off. It's
Think-
got to be like a mini vacation
think
for people. I
about
would think.
American weddings, though. You have, the rehearsal dinner, you have the wedding, you have the bachelor party, you have the bachelorette party, you have the
Yeah.
bridal
But they're
shower,
spread out.
like,
Okay, I see
I
what
mean,
you're
it's
saying. It's
still,
kind of the same
it's
thing.
still kind of a whole ordeal, and you have to take off work and spend all this money and all this time. Like,
Well, she
I'm
said they
not-
were going to one every weekend. I'm like,
yeah, I'm not. I'm saying like still. You
it
still
would take
have
me
to-
the days in between not to work to sober up and feel better to go to the
Yeah.
next one.
That it got to the point where I was just declining. Like I'm not going.
I
I
don't
can't
blame
do
you.
it.
It's too much.
much.
You need a new outfit every
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and it's sometimes we would only get less than a week notice
Oh wow.
that someone's getting
wow.
married.
Oh, so there was no save the date.
No, this is a very quick turnaround.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
How do
it's-
they do that?
Yeah, how?
It's just very last minute there. That's another cultural thing that I've noticed. Everything is very, very last minute.
Wow, I can't even imagine. I've been
Wow,
planning
how do
my
you-
wedding for like
yeah.
over a year now.
Yeah.
We're still 6 months out, or
You could-
9 months out.
Imagine doing that within like less than a month.
No way.
Wow.
Couldn't do it.
So they must have great venues and great places. To
They're
go.
built for
Planners,
it. They're
yeah.
built
Right,
for it.
right.
They're used to this.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
If it's a
Part of
cultural
their
thing, then they're
culture.
like, okay, you can get flowers and a cake or whatever it is, whatever the big thing is,
yeah.
in
Wow.
72 hours or whatever it is.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Do you have pictures from your wedding? We'd love to see those.
I do.
We'll share after.
You would share, yeah.
Oh, I would love to see those.
So the other tradition I want to know about, I think it's Indian, when they throw the color.
Yeah.
Holy?
I don't know what you see it on certain movies and that, but they throw like all the
the
colors. What is
yeah.
that?
That's called Holy, and that's actually one of the only festivals I haven't celebrated yet.
Oh really?
Yeah.
When is that? Is that a specific day?
I think
or-
it's in March.
Is it?
So we haven't really celebrated it yet. We can though. So basically, also after there's a death in a close relative passes in the family, you're not supposed to celebrate anything for a year.
Okay.
You're
That
not.
sounds like-
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah. So you
Wow.
can't do any
Gosh.
festivals or life changes. You can't move.
Oh,
you can't
wow.
have
Oh,
marriages.
really?
Wow.
Nothing.
Got
So
it.
is that why
Okay.
you guys didn't get married? Probably.
Yeah, we had to wait till after the year.
Wow.
Okay,
no
that's
way.
interesting.
And what did you think about that? You got it. Like,
Yeah.
that's their,
I mean,
because you're from a Jewish family
Yeah.
and they have certain rules. Like they try to bury the dead quickly, more quickly than,
Yeah. So there's no embalming.
right. There's no, but so you're probably,
It got dark quick.
I know. So, well, what I'm trying to say is
That changed.
yeah, embalming and death and everything, but
This is a dark load.
yeah, but
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is it the kind of the same in India? Like just quick, just
Yeah. Everything moves fast. It's
moves fast,
fast-paced.
but then your morning is longer.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
I think
Morning
that's
was I don't know
very
what.
respectful of you.
Right, right.
Whole year.
Get
It
on with
really
it,
is.
and
And then
then
the whole year
we
of
mourn,
just-
and we
yeah,
have
yeah,
this of
yeah.
mourning, and
It
this
kind of
is
makes
why.
sense,
Yeah.
really.
That's what I was trying to remember. Shivas, or is that what the
Shiva,
Jewish,
sitting Shiva.
Yeah, and
Right,
that's after
Jews.
the death and after
Yeah.
the funeral, but it's a way of mourning.
Yep.
And there's- okay.
So you're Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still Jewish, or have you converted to Buddhism, or what is your husband?
He's Hindu.
Hindu.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not. I would say I'm not a religious person. I'm
Yeah.
more spiritual.
Yeah.
But I think also Judaism is an identity.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So I definitely identify as Jewish. I'm just not currently practicing.
That's
Practicing. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
But what a great spiritual place to live.
I know,
Oh
right?
my
Yeah,
gosh.
oh my gosh.
You couldn't have asked for a greater place to live for spiritual.
No.
Oh God, that's fantastic.
It's just the festivals,
Yep.
the
energy.
energy, the temples.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So actually, one of my temple experiences was quite intense. So before we got engaged? Because we had an engagement ceremony in a temple, which is pretty common, and it's also like to bless the rings too.
Oh wow.
I think it was before that. I don't think it was before the wedding. I can't remember now. But his father asked us to go to this specific temple to kind of cleanse ourselves of any like bad omens or impurities and everything. So that was crazy.
Whoa.
We had to like fly to this place for one day. We had some guy pick us up, like take us to this temple. We met with a pundit there, did all the things, and then like flew back at night.
Oh wow.
What?
So
Just
obviously
to
it was
get engaged?
obviously
Yeah.
it was that important though to
Yeah.
his father.
That's
Yeah.
so
So-
good. That's
And I'm,
lovely.
Wow.
they've been so kind-hearted and loving
That's
to
so
me. It
nice.
was the least I could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, you're gonna abide by whatever traditions they have. I mean, and that sounds like a really cool experience.
It was definitely eye-opening. And then just to be in the temple and there's so many people.
Yeah.
It got to the point where there was so many people at this one spot. I was like, I'm sorry, I just need to get out right now.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
I would be so.
Do you have a
overwhelmed.
sense of like claustrophobia even though it's people?
Yeah,
Like you just
yeah.
can't quite
Oh, yeah.
move and
Yeah.
So what's it like to travel inside of India domestically?
Domestically, it's actually surprisingly very easy.
Is
So
it?
my brother just came to visit for my reception, but traveled around beforehand, and he had a lot of questions like, "Is it safe?
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it this? Is it that?" And then he's like, "That is way easier than traveling domestically in the United States."
Yeah,
Really?
probably.
Oh, wow.
Because they have such a population, they
Yeah.
have to get it down to a
Yeah,
science.
they
Like
need
they probably have
public
internal
transportation.
flights every half hour. type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to travel.
And I've heard there's a train that goes all across India.
Yeah, you can take a train. I personally wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that's a little intense
Yeah.
in those quarters.
Probably take a long time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's why you're this developing country. You're getting it together. You're figuring it out.
I watched.
Especially for someone to come back and go, "Oh my God, it's way easier to travel within that country than it is."
It is,
Here.
actually.
It's
That's
it
pretty
is
cool.
actually pretty hard to travel in the States. It's kind of annoying. Like flights,
shouldn't be.
obviously, but it should be so much easier here. We
Yeah, it
should have
should
figured
not
it
be.
out by now. But
That's one thing I watched a documentary once on a train that goes across India. Very
Yeah.
high end. It was like $8,000 to $10,000 a ticket, but it just looks so glamorous.
I've
Would you do
always
it?
wanted to
I
do
would.
that. I would do it in a heartbeat.
I would.
Let's
Me
go.
too. It was just. I mean, it was first class. Everything, the food, the sleeping carriages.
Yeah, and you see all of India.
And I was
essentially.
like, I would do that in a heartbeat.
100%.
I would
If
love
you had
that.
the
India's
money.
calling.
If I had the money,
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's the way you can get me there, huh?
Listen,
All right,
when you
your
get there,
next wedding
everything's cheaper.
anniversary.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just
ju-
getting there.
It's just
Yeah.
the train travel. I think it was a 5-day trip. It was just phenomenal.
And I don't need a bet. We don't need one of those quarters. I'm not coming back with no UTI. We can just sit in our chairs and enjoy the
Enjoy the
scenery, okay?
And the food. Yeah.
And the
And
food.
that's it. But yeah, it did look amazing. But it was all done out in Indian decoration in the carriages, and the cabins were just phenomenal. It looked
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Are there any like social norms after you've been living there and living with the family that you respect but you just don't get?
Social norms.
Do you mean something that you're like, I don't get it. I don't know if I even agree with it, but it doesn't mean that much to me. I'll just follow along or anything. Anything like that?
Social norms. I'd say just like the open door policy. So what that kind of breaks down to is like anybody can come over anytime unannounced.
Maybe I'm Indian and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
That's how Smarge loves to live.
That was just the first thing that popped into my
Really?
head.
Okay.
I think there's a few, but
And what
yeah.
do they do? They welcome you every time
Yeah.
and
yeah.
bring out food or whatever, and you sit and chat. And
Yeah, because in India, guests are considered gods. So if there's a guest in your home, they're treated very, very well with the utmost respect and care.
Nice. Well, that's neat to know. I would not have thought that, but
Yeah.
that's very nice.
So whereas I'm, being from the West, we're kind of a little closed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this
We are.
generation too.
Yeah.
I think I think our generation probably aided to your generation because, you hear some older comedians and they talk about, your mom would always have an Entenmann's cake or whatever up on the refrigerator and you weren't to eat it because it was for guests that were to come over, or there were guest towels because people really did drop by back then.
Oh yeah.
Now it's like you hear the doorbell, everybody freezes and is like, who in the hell is that?
Yes. Like, who is at my house? Why are they here? And I'm not answering the door.
I know.
Exactly.
And this was a time when there were telephones. I mean, it was landline, but there were telephones, but no one ever called. But you always prepared that you were probably going to have a guest. And then somehow, our generation dropped it for you. And now you guys are like, what the hell?
Yeah. So it's just the open door. Like if it were up to my husband, he'd have the door of the house open all day. People can come and go as they please.
Yep.
And no forewarning. Stay as long as you want. Do whatever you want. And I'm just like, listen, shut that door.
I need a minute. But I will, I love people coming in and out every time. But when I need a break, I will find like a quiet place. And everybody wonders, why do you have all these nooks and crannies? Well, I love having everybody around. But every now and then I do need just 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
that's
recharge.
okay.
You know what I mean? But I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Open door. Well, I do try to have an open door policy.
You
for the most
definitely
part.
have the most open door policy of anyone I've ever met, Smart. So let's be honest there. But I agree. I think you do need to have your boundaries every once in a while, and you need to have your own space. So I think that's good. You need to develop that. So good for you for
What do you
finding
do
that
to
balance.
get your personal space in a place where
there's
that
not
is-
a lot of
there's
personal
not a lot of
space.
personal space outside the house, in the house? Like what do you do?
Honestly, I don't leave the house as much as I would here. Like here, I would go out maybe once a day.
Mm-hmm.
There, sometimes I just don't go out.
Yeah.
Maybe
just
I
stay
am
home.
Indian.
Did I miss this, or do you live with just your husband, or do you live with the family?
Yeah, so it is common just to stay
Yeah.
living with the family
That's
after,
what I
especially
thought.
after you're
And are
married.
there siblings as well? Like, does he have a brother or sister also living there with their family?
No, so that his brother is the one who passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
That is
Oh,
really
that's
really
horrible.
tough.
Yeah, so
Oh.
it's just him now.
Did he have a family?
Yeah, he was newly married.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Ah.
That is awful.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. That's what, was he younger or older? Or?
Yeah, he's in his 30s.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. But his bride, so my sister-in-law, is still just a part of the family
Good.
now as she was back then.
Yeah,
Right.
good.
She's definitely loved.
Right.
Very
right,
loved still.
Right.
And she's still in the family. There's not.
Yeah.
She's going to be there forever.
Oh yeah, she's in the
Yeah,
family.
Good.
Yep.
Do you remarry in India?
So generally speaking, yes.
Just because they're so young. Is what
They
I was
would.
thinking.
The family generally would push for them to remarry.
Mm-hmm.
She is standing adamantly in, I'm not getting remarried.
Well, she shouldn't if she doesn't want to.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I support her wholeheartedly.
yeah.
If that's what she wants to do, then we
Absolutely.
support her. But
Oh
I,
my God, that'd be awful.
yeah, it was a very hard transition for the whole family.
Yeah.
And to come into that and watch that unfold
Yeah.
was really, really intense.
I bet. And then you said they were just so nice and welcoming to you.
Yep.
And still going through the loss of their son.
Of their son. Never,
Wow.
never once made me feel like I was an outsider.
Yeah.
That my needs or feelings didn't matter.
Nice.
And the least I could do for them was just be there for them
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
much as I could and do whatever they needed.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, sorry,
That's
Haas. What was your
amazing.
question? I was just wondering if there was a sibling there.
Um.
But sorry, I think she was going to answer you too.
Oh, do you still live with your
Oh, yeah.
husband's
Oh.
parents?
So they live on a more like older part of town.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So we decided to move to the more
Happening.
happening side of town with more
Right.
things to do. So
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
an apartment there
Yeah.
that we moved into in August, and we really love it. I've noticed a change in especially my social behavior living there too. I want to go out a little bit more often because you also have to consider the traffic is really, really bad there. So we were kind of, like I said, like kind of on the outskirts, older part of town. So to go anywhere on the other side, the traffic, I mean,
Takes
1 to
forever.
2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
One way sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So, yeah. Okay.
It's not worth it.
No. So now that we've moved, I'm willing to go out
Yeah.
more often.
And so have you made some friends? Like, how do you make friends? How do you, do you have girl nights? Like, what do you,
So
what's your social situation like?
the social situation is different. So
Because you're American, so you're living amongst most Indian
Indians.
women, which
Yes.
speak a different language.
yeah, like younger, you'd say more English is definitely prevalent.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Um,
learn
yeah,
English
okay.
in
Yeah.
school, so most younger folks can speak English.
Yeah, like a lot of people there are bilingual. What is it? Trilingual.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
Oh,
my husband
yeah.
is trilingual. He can speak Telugu, English, and Hindi fluently.
Oh, wow.
My sister-in-law speaks 6 languages.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't there a
And she
study
can-
done once that you have to have a certain type of brain, though? Some brains cannot master,
Yeah.
like maybe they're good in mathematics or something, but they
That's
cannot master a
amazing.
foreign language or something.
That's me.
Yeah.
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 I'm
That's
like,
what I claimed as well.
I'm the same.
But now I'm wondering if that's even true because you're talking about people that have learned 6 languages?
Yep.
Well, you also learn it
Wow.
at a young age. I imagine she started learning
At a young age.
Okay.
very young, and that's really where you start developing language. So if they're teaching that in school, then it happens a lot easier. But now, as adults, it's way harder to learn languages. So good
Yeah.
for you. Good for you if you're even trying. So don't be hard on yourself. It's
Not at all.
very, very hard. And I can only imagine learning the languages, the dialects within India I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So
It's intense.
you're killing it for even trying. So,
Thank you.
So what's TV like? What do you see on TV?
ooh, good question.
Ooh.
What?
Bollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's all that
Yeah.
like?
What's that like?
So
I have so many questions.
fire away. So I feel like my husband's going to listen to this and he's going to give me shit. So the
Hi
thing
there,
with Bollywood
husband.
movies,
She's only said kind things about you.
the thing about Bollywood movies is they are normally 3+ hours.
Are they
I
really?
heard
Yes,
that.
they're
Wow.
very long.
I heard
They
that.
have
No
musical
way.
numbers like in every single
Yeah.
one.
Wow.
They are, trust me, they are some of the most intricate movies you will ever watch.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband always asks at 10 o'clock at night, you want to watch a Bollywood film? And I would have to read subtitles for 3 hours
Oh.
at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I usually decline his request. And so I feel bad. Don't
Yeah.
worry. We'll
Well,
watch
10
it.
o'clock at night, that's one thing. If it was 7.
And do they
yeah.
run their days later than Americans? Like,
Yes.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, is anybody showing up for the first class at age 8 years old at 7:30 in the morning?
No.
See, isn't that neither in England?
Oh, wait,
Why?
maybe. You mean school?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
maybe. I
a little
don't
a
know.
little guy showing up at like freaking 7:00, 7:30.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
What
start
time do you
that
start
early.
school in England?
8, 9,
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's what we should do.
and you finish about 4. So it's just like a normal work day.
Yeah.
It fits in with everybody else.
Timing's very different across all
Yeah.
cultures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So
All cultures.
you
True.
experienced. Sorry. So what did you experience with? Like, what was your biggest thing you noticed? Like, that is completely different. Like, they are watching 9 o'clock news at midnight or something.
No, they're eating dinner at 9 o'clock at night.
Do they really?
Oh, wow.
And that was a huge point of contention between us because I don't want to eat dinner at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready
want dinner
for
at
bed.
6.
When
Yeah.
do they go to bed then?
11, 12.
Oh,
Maybe.
God.
And that's just your that's like our 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Is there 11, 12?
Yeah.
So
then-
that would be big.
They're
That
not.
would
What time do
hard
they
for
wake up
me.
then?
I mean, his dad wakes up like at 5:30 every day.
No, that's a long day.
What?
That
That's a
is
Well,
long
he is a
day.
personal business owner,
Yeah,
so you know.
That's
Yeah.
a long day.
But they keep going and going.
What do you have for breakfast?
So a typical breakfast there is, especially in like South India, because it does change on the region a lot too, is something called dosa. Have you heard of dosa?
No.
I'd say it's comparable to a pancake here. You can have it with chutney.
Oh, chutneys. I love chutneys.
Yeah.
Love chutneys.
And then they have something called idli, which is kind of like, how do I explain it? It's kind of bready. These small, like you steam them.
Okay.
Like a breaded dumpling?
I wouldn't
instead
say
of in
it's a dumpling.
Is there anything inside it?
No,
A
it's just
donut? A donut hole?
no, it's just like it's like a maybe the size of like a big donut hole, like that big.
Okay. And there's nothing in the middle. It's just all dough.
No, it's like breaded, and then they steam it. I should know more about this. I'm the worst. And then you can put it in. You can dip it in chutney, or you can have it in something called sambar, which is kind of like a soup. That's actually really, really tasty.
Okay, that sounds good.
So those are common breakfast items.
Those
there.
are like savory. That's
Yeah,
have
everything's
soup
more.
for
I'd say
breakfast.
everything's more savory.
yeah.
Sweet
Yeah.
breakfast is more of like a Western
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing.
I could see that.
So what's it like going to a grocery store?
I don't.
And there you have it. I do not.
Your husband goes to the store?
We don't. We have something. We have delivery apps.
Oh, okay.
So there's.
Is that like common for most?
Yeah. I mean, or they have house help. A lot of houses have
Yeah.
house help that'll fetch the
Singapore was like-
groceries.
yeah.
Oh, wow,
Or you
okay.
do. There are grocery stores. They do exist. You can go in. For me, it's a little chaotic, and
Yeah.
half the stuff I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
that's
read
what I
was
it.
thinking, yeah.
So we do the apps.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can get pretty much anything you can think of, literally delivered in 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
unbelievable. Motorcycle delivered.
Yep,
Yep.
within 5 to 10 minutes. It's
That's
insane.
awesome.
Anything
Wow.
you need.
See,
Yeah.
maybe I
Do you-
am Indian.
is
or
there
I
any-
should be.
I'll give you an example of
Me too.
something that shocked me in Singapore. And this was Singapore. I don't know if Dubai has the same or India, but it was durians. Like you would
Oh
see,
my God.
you would see a sign: "Do not bring durians
Do not
on.
open it. Do not cut
open
it.
Do not cut it. You're not allowed on the subway
Yeah.
with them."
What
It's like a
is it?
Southeast,
For what?
It's Southeast Asian thing.
It's Southeast Asian.
What is it?
yeah, it's
a
a fruit.
durian. It's a fruit, and it comes into season at a certain
It's
time.
like spiky fruit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Go on.
You can't. Yeah, you can't open. You can't cut it because the smell
is
is
so pungent.
horrible. It's
It was
disgusting, and you
unbelievable.
can't travel with it.
No, you're not allowed to travel on the tube with it. Or
I'm actually surprised they don't have.
And
it
where's
in
it grown?
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, and
Singapore, yeah, it's all over
Singapore was
Singapore, all over
big.
Thailand.
Yep.
It was all over.
Oh, wow.
Vietnam.
oh,
yes.
it was hilarious. And I
There's
remember
signs everywhere.
signs everywhere, like you're not allowed to bring it in or cut it or eat it, like you said.
I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be like a small animal or
no,
something.
No.
and living in this, I lived in a 26-story apartment block. Boy, and the middle of the block was open, and you could tell when people were eating it because it would come up through
Oh,
the.
It
wow.
would reek.
But how do you
Oh.
eat it if it smells that bad? Because
I don't know how they
smell,
do the
smell has to
Honestly-
take away your appetite.
yeah.
I
I
thought.
couldn't
How
do
could
it.
you
the taste
continue on
isn't
to eat?
as bad
As the
as
smell.
Well, I would,
Yeah.
I would hope not. I would think not.
It's actually.
But how do you
tastes
get-
pretty good?
How
Is
about
it? I-
yeah,
It'd be
but-
so hard to get past that.
The
I
smell
think
is-
to have the
The
appetite.
smell is something.
Oh,
wow.
It's,
Well, you can only learn that here
you
in
can't describe.
the laundry room, guys.
The first time I bought my
dirty
first,
smells.
first
Yes.
chicken in Singapore, I didn't realize it came with the feet on because they love the feet and the head and everything. So that was they're the little culture things I had with food when I first
That's a
started
new
Did you eat the
experience.
feet?
living somewhere. Huh?
Did you eat the feet?
I did it when they were prepared for me. I didn't prepare them myself. Yeah, I mean some of the things you eat in
You would eat them still?
Malaysia and all that, bats and snakes in China and all
Yeah.
that shit, but that's normal for everybody. But so you don't have anything like that. Nothing really weird that comes into season that you're not allowed to eat.
That you're
Oh,
not
not
allowed
like
to eat?
you-
No. I mean,
Or-
smells are not foreign in
Yeah.
India.
No,
I'll tell
I
you that
was
much.
going to say, yeah. you get your, I bet you get your good taste of smells in India.
Yeah.
Or something
share.
weird that you did eat that
Yeah.
you were like, I never thought I would eat that.
Indian food, yeah.
I'm eating a lot more mutton, like lamb,
Oh,
than I
love-
thought I would ever eat.
I love
Yeah,
I
that's
love
Probably the
lamb.
strangest.
Yeah, lamb is.
That's not too strange.
But lamb is very predominant in England, very predominant in Australia and in New Zealand, obviously. In India, obviously, they do a lot of curries with mutton in. So,
Yeah, because they always, even in America, they offer a
yeah, it's
lamb
curries.
curry. Like you'll have your lamb curry, beef curry, chicken curry. They always include lamb, so I figured it was pretty big.
Do you eat from street vendors?
No.
Yeah, probably a good call.
Nope.
You never have.
Now, with your husband, does your husband? work
Yeah.
as well? Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's built for it.
yeah.
His stomach can handle
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to have a cast iron asshole for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe
Yeah.
it.
I bet.
Yeah, we always used to say when we first, you have your first vindaloo or whatever it is, like, okay, put the toilet roll in the freezer.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
going to burn.
It's going to burn on the way out as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I did. I had a vada. It's a vada pav in Mumbai, like a famous sandwich, but that was it.
Yeah.
Spicy.
But it was Mumbai.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
Oh god.
Is the food a lot spicier there?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot of good spice.
Were you used to spicy food?
No, but I've built up a tolerance.
Right. But
Yeah.
you weren't raised with it. either.
No.
Okay.
No.
I just think that food is delicious.
It's so good. It's
It's
my favorite.
so good.
Well,
The
you do know,
variety?
I'm pretty sure I haven't checked lately, but the national dish for England
It's a curry.
is
The
a
curry. It is a
It's-
curry.
It's the curry. Is it still the curry?
I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
it
been
still
for
is, but
years
it
and
was,
years and
yeah.
years. That's
Yeah.
their national dish.
Yeah.
And after my many times in England, and I love England, but I get it.
Yeah, it's delicious, and I have
It's great. So what a great thing. But then their food is not good at all.
English
So-
food.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
England food's not good at all. So then to make something like curry be there, I mean, I get it. Like if you're going to offer curry over their food, you're going to pick curry every
Yeah.
time. No offense.
No, you're right.
So-
But you're going to pick it every time because they just didn't go medium. They just went up to curry. Like everybody loves curry. That's our national dish. So now it's at all the pubs. It's everywhere.
it's delicious.
And you always want to, you'll always pick that in England.
yeah, I have a confession.
Ooh,
Yeah.
do tell.
Please.
So the best Indian food I've ever had.
Oh no.
Is in London.
Yes.
Yep. The
I'm gonna get banned from India.
The best Indian food I've ever had is in, well, we'll see if you'll say the same. I'm going to write it down. And then you can write, or I'll write it
I can
down.
answer it now.
What
Okay.
do you
But I
think?
want to write it down.
All right. What did you say? And then
Where did
she'll
we have
write-
the best Indian
Yeah.
food?
That I've had.
Yeah, the best Indian food I've ever had is in Bath in England.
Really?
It was mind
Stop.
blowing.
She said the same thing.
Yeah.
She wrote the
And
same thing.
It was with an Indian family
Yeah,
that
it
owned
was,
it,
yeah.
and they'd owned it for quite a while, and
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
it's been there for years and years and years, and it's in a basement,
Yeah.
and it was the best Indian food I've
It
ever
was
had.
What?
mind blowing.
That's crazy. In
So,
England?
and
of
it
all
makes me
places?
wonder, like, is it because us Westerners haven't tasted something like that that it makes
Probably.
it so good? Because they're
Yeah.
from India,
Yeah.
so they're cooking what everyone else is eating in India in a
would-
way.
Yeah.
You would think,
Why is it so good to us?
so basically, it is the way it's made is for more of a Western palate.
Yeah. In England.
oh,
In England
I
and
agree.
in the
Yeah,
US.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah,
So
Okay.
it's
Diff-
more
it's just-
spices or
or creamier or sweeter,
Creamier, sweeter.
or it's a little different in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something
Okay.
about India, like there isn't any curry that I really like, a restaurant or anything that I've been to that I really like in America. After I've
sounds like
had
you need to go
Korean.
to India.
Well, and it's after I've been to England too,
Yeah.
and now it's just kind of like, I mean, there's good places, don't get me wrong, but it's just different. So it's what you said; they're just making it more to our palate.
In England, the way I've always looked at it is like, like Mexican food is everywhere in America.
But it's westernized.
Yeah.
And it's westernized.
And that's how
Yeah.
curry is.
Yeah, in England.
England,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good way to look at it.
Because if you try and get a taco or anything like that in England,
It's a taco, not a taco.
when I grew up, the biggest thing was KFC came to England. But it's different now because I haven't lived there for so long. But tacos and Mexican food you didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first went
grew
over
up.
with Poppy, I said, "Oh my God, we need to come over here, open up a Mexican
Yeah.
food restaurant in the front, and have a screen company in the back."
Mm-hmm.
These people don't have screens. I don't think they still do
Screens and windows
in windows and doors.
for
And,
bugs.
oh my gosh! And then they'd have their windows open, which is just nice and wonderful. But then don't turn on a light.
No, don't
And
turn the
then,
light on.
I mean, you can hear them if you don't wear earplugs.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. So I'm like, this is
Well, you
what we'll
must
do.
have
And in
found
the
that,
back,
wasn't
we're
it, in
just,
England?
yeah, do.
Find that?
But do you have that many flying things at night
Where?
In
in India?
No, like bugs?
Yeah, would you need screens in India?
Oh yeah, the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's true, you guys said. And do you have screens?
The
Is that
apartment we live in now did not come with screens, so I just try to keep the doors and windows closed at all times.
We should send her home with those as seen on TV magnetic screen shutter things.
You need screens.
Yeah.
Do you sleep with a mosquito net type thing?
No.
I think
just
maybe
keep it
you
closed.
should. I think maybe
Well, you have
this is something.
AC, so
Well, I have 2 cats, so I can't leave without the
Oh,
screens.
the
They would
cats
hop.
would love this mosquito net.
Oh, they would. They go nuts.
God.
Yeah.
But I can't leave the windows open anyways because we're
Oh,
14,
okay.
15 stories up. They'll go over the
Okay.
edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody should invest in screens. That would
That's
save a
another
lot.
really interesting thing. Like you just said, you live 15 stories high.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I lived in Singapore, we were 22 and 23. our main level of our apartment was 22 and the bedrooms were on 23. And coming from England, that was the first time I really lived overseas. And coming from America was like, oh, this is mind blowing to me. I mean, a lot of city people in America are used to it and that, but
Yeah.
But big cities like
Yeah,
New
big-
York
yeah,
and
but-
stuff,
Or
maybe.
Chicago, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
Chicago, but
when
not.
you first live in these multi-story apartment complexes, it is
Oh, it's
mind blowing.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It was to
Yeah.
me. It was just
I
like,
bet.
I was like, wow, coming from a farm, we have 20 acres on.
And then
houses on
especially
20
having that
acres.
courtyard
Yeah.
you talk
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
you looked in on.
Central, yeah.
And then how many stories was the building in full?
24 or 5.
Oh, so you were like almost
Yeah.
penthouse.
How
was
m-
Right
and
there.
how many is your building? Do you know what's the top of your building?
15. We're the top.
You're the top.
Yeah.
You are the top.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
It's
that's
a
far
different
up
way
there.
of living.
It is.
It really is.
Now, when
Crazy.
you order these groceries through this app,
Yeah.
so does this come to ground level delivery or does it come to your door?
Your door. So what we live in, it's called a society over there. So like an apartment complex, it's called a society. So there's a main gate. There's security always. So you just kind of have this app and you let them know that your apartment number called for a delivery person and to grant them access when they come.
Oh, okay.
So they'll grant, and then they park their bike and bring it up to the 15th floor
Wow.
and ring your doorbell.
Do you tip more than if you were on the third floor? Or do they tip over there? There's
Yeah.
a good question. Do you tip in India?
So it is built into the apps.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
yes, I do tip.
And do you tip more if you're on the fifth floor from the second floor? Or
I never thought of that. Questions. Very intriguing.
I'm just kind
We
of
got all the questions tonight.
Yeah. No, I just tip
But
standard.
it's through the app. Well, that's pretty cool, though. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a Jew in that aspect.
Well, not even a Jew. How could we can say English as well?
Yeah.
You guys don't. Do you tip yet? Are you guys tipping yet? Do you
We're
tip?
too tight to tip. I think they
So you're
try.
still not
I
tipping?
don't know.
Do you tip? You don't tip at the pub,
I don't know anymore.
but you do. But do you still get your own drink at the pub?
Yeah, you still have to go and get your own.
So I would assume you guys aren't going to tip yet either. I was just wondering. That still hasn't caught on in
Yeah.
that country, and it
It's-
cracks me.
I think it's a very U.S. thing,
It's
right?
very
I think
US,
we have a
yeah.
very
It is. Yeah.
tip-based culture. And I think I over-tip in India.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband will be like, like I'll get my nails done.
Mhm.
And I'll tip each girl 500 rupees, which equates to $5 or $6.
Yeah.
He's like, how much did you tip? I said, 500 rupees. He's like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
What?
That's insane.
They're touching your body.
50 to
They can't
100
even be-
rupees max.
Could you imagine if here you had a manicure and you tipped your lady $5?
Yeah.
She'd look at you like, "Don't come back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they see me, I give them 500 each time.
Wow.
They're like,
They
that,
love you.
they love
Yeah,
me.
well, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Come back anytime, Mochi.
Yeah.
We love
Anytime.
Mochi.
But he's like, yeah, you over tip.
Yeah. Well,
So I guess it's just kind of like it's newer there, I guess.
so
Right,
where
yeah,
where
okay,
has
okay.
been your favorite place to live then, as internationally? Granted, you're with your husband now. You love him so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so hubby can't take this answer
Yeah.
personally. We're going to take him out of the equation for a second.
If you didn't live with him, you're the love of your life, what has been your favorite international place that you've lived?
Wow. I mean, each has served me in different seasons of my life.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, but I'd say overall, probably London.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
Nick.
love London.
Maybe
What?
that could be
Yeah.
a go-between. Like if he comes and lives here for a while and then you don't want to go all the way back to India, maybe you guys
Yeah,
could end up
go
in
back to
London or
London.
something for a
Well,
while.
him being Indian, he's a little salty with the British.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very much. Very much. I don't blame him either.
Which I don't understand the whole thing because a lot of them, they're so...
They do.
but
It's-
they
it's-
get in their own little communities, I've noticed, and stuff, just like anywhere. And
yeah. that's the
so,
same.
yeah, that would be a hard sell, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just a thought.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh.
Well,
You ready?
honestly, we could ask you for. We could be here all
Oh, I
night,
do have
to be
one question
fair.
that will kind of wrap it up. So you said
Yeah.
you guys are looking at moving over here in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that plan look like? Say everything goes through and you're here in 3 years. How long do you plan to stay here? Or have you thought about that next thing? And where is here? I just mean U.S.
Yeah. So we're contemplating between Colorado, Washington State, or California.
Okay.
Oh,
like
wow.
Northern California.
Those are great spots.
Yeah. So it would be for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you just never know what happens, where life takes you and what will
Right.
happen.
No, I get that. And
Yeah.
will he find a different job here or
No,
mean,
Maybe we
or
talked about
it'd be hard to
expanding
work remote.
the family business to the U.S.
Oh,
Oh,
that would be
nice.
awesome.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
there is talk about that then, and he could still.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Very
It's
cool.
all TBD.
Right. I get it. Yeah, I was just wondering what that plan would be in the future. So
But see where life takes you.
yeah,
You know? You
absolutely.
never
I can't
know.
wait to hear. We'll have you on again.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're the type of
But-
person that kind of runs with the punches and takes life where it takes you. So that's great.
Yeah, it does.
Good. Good for you.
So are you ready for 5 on the line?
Sure.
This is 5 on the line, and this is just our basic questions we ask everybody and spitfire answers. So no pressure. They're pretty basic. But what was your favorite pet growing up? And this also could be a pet that you currently have.
Oh, my favorite pet, his name was Bradley. He was my soul cat.
Bradley.
Yeah, he passed away last year.
Oh,
Miss him dearly.
did he? Was he in India with you?
No, he was actually here with my ex.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was nice of your ex to take care of him for you, though.
That's when I moved to Dubai, so I couldn't bring him with me.
Right.
Oh,
And he was used to that environment and knew.
Okay, so I can't go to India then and live because I can't give up Willie and Nelson.
You could bring them with you.
Do they have to be like quarantined and all that? I never thought
Think
about
so.
that.
You can move. We're going to bring our cats here. when we
Are
move.
you? So you do
yeah.
have kitties?
Yeah, 2 cats now.
Nice.
I love them, but Bradley was my soul baby.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the name, by the way.
Me too.
I love human names of animals.
Who was your role model growing up and has that changed?
My role model growing up. Oh my goodness. You'd think this would be obvious.
And it could even be like someone you know. It doesn't have to be like someone you admired from afar. It could be someone in your life. It could be someone you did admire from afar or...
I think the basic answer is like your mother.
Oh, that's a
It's
good
not a
one.
basic answer,
that's a-
but
That's
it's a
your
good answer. It's a great answer.
Yeah.
I mean, each mother and daughter relationship has their different dynamics, but she went through a lot. And I, watched her survive and thrive
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
through everything.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's great.
I love
This
that.
might be where you got your let's just go for it then.
That's
From
not like
even-
my mom, though.
Well, I'm just saying, even if it's not, but witnessing her, what you just said, you witnessed her like thrive, survive, probably multiple times,
Yeah.
maybe, right? So maybe watching someone you love so much going through that made you think, hey, I'm just going to do it when I think I'm
Right.
going to,
You only live once.
you only live once type attitude, that type of thing. Right, Haas?
Yeah.
So maybe, she is the one that inspired you and you didn't even realize it.
Maybe.
Yeah, look what
Back
comes out
to
in the
our
wash
therapy
sometimes.
session.
Well, look what comes out in the wash sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll
The-
think about that deeper.
Think about that
Yeah.
deeper because I could see where that would teach you. Like, let's not overdo it, overtalk it. Let's just do it.
Yeah. We only charge $200 for a therapy lesson. So you're welcome. Anyway, what was
We'll
your,
be hanging the shingle out tomorrow.
what has been your favorite vacation?
Oh, wow. Honestly, this was really unexpected, besides the person that was with me, who's now my ex. But one of the most unexpected places I've ever went to was Georgia, the country.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that? I'm going to get
It's
the
in
atlas
Eastern
up.
Europe,
Yeah.
Okay.
Why,
right near Russia.
Why was
Right,
that your
okay.
favorite?
Kind of by Czech or
Vacation.
Prague and like
Because-
it's in there with Czechoslovakia, right?
No.
Or is
I
it
should know
further?
this.
south?
A
Okay,
little bit
that's okay.
further.
You guys,
east,
I've
I
been wanting to
think,
come
but
up with this game. I keep saying it. Drunk geography.
Geography.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Pictionary game. Like you
That
think
would
you
be
know where
fun.
something is in the
You
world,
have no
and then
idea.
sometimes you're like, oh my god, it's there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great game.
that would
So-
be really fun.
I didn't even know this place was a country until 4 years
See?
ago.
Yeah.
I had no
So
idea.
and that was your like.
I
oh my
think it
God,
was
I'm-
just because it was so unexpected.
And there she goes again. Oh, this is a country. Yeah, let's go visit it.
Yeah.
Like I never knew about it, and now I'm going.
And now I'm going.
Let's go.
And I extended while I was there. I loved it so much.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was just the whole thing was just very unexpected, and it ended up just being.
What do you think was
so
the part
amazing?
that you thought was so amazing? Was it just the food, the culture, like everything combined?
The history.
Okay.
I'm also really into history.
Okay.
A lot of history there.
Yeah. And maybe that you had no expectations just going into it. Like you
That's
didn't
true.
even know this
Sometimes that's nice.
existed.
No
and then you're like,
expectations.
this is the most amazing place I've ever been. Like
Yeah.
you didn't even know you're getting into. Those are sometimes the best vacations when you're like,
That is a good when
Let's
you
just
don't
go with the
have those
punches.
expectations, right?
And I have to bring my husband there now to make new memories. And
Right.
another one we went to, which was amazing, real quick. We went to Japan.
oh god.
Oh, what'd you think of
I
that?
can't wait to go to Japan.
Japan was mind blowing.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know what to expect. Would know what to expect.
I can't wait. What was your favorite part?
The food.
Oh god, yeah.
The food.
Really?
good.
Yeah.
bet.
It was just some of the best meals I've ever had in my life.
Was it a lot of seafood and a lot of fish, or was
Surprisingly, we only had a couple sushi meals. It just
it?
was
Well, not even
everything.
sushi, but I don't know. Yeah, like I guess that, or it was more beef or meat, or like
Yeah, pork, beef,
Chicken.
noodles, chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard their
just
beef
delicious.
is amazing.
the best beef I've ever had.
That
in my
is
life.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard the
Very
food
cool.
is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So, what does that vacation come to mind that it was the worst vacation? It just kept falling apart, and then it got even worse. Have you had a vacation like that? And it can be childhood or adulthood, or like you just tried to salvage it, and it just is. You just couldn't swing it around.
So this sort of answers your question.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this is my first trip to Dubai. It pretty much fell apart.
Yeah.
3 days
so?
in.
3 days in. How long were you planning on being there?
Over 10.
Yeah.
So we just decided to go our separate ways. This was another girl.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to go our separate ways. So here I was.
Did you have a falling out with? Like you guys had a falling out?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a very bad falling
But you
out.
planned this trip together.
But this was us also meeting for the first time.
Oh.
Okay.
So basically we had
Okay.
quick backstory. We had an ex in common.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of bonded over that and spoke a lot over years and just decided to meet. She was in London. I was here. So we decided Dubai.
Wow.
So that was the furthest I'd ever flown from home.
Mm-hmm.
We met and in person, it just,
Was not good.
nope.
Whoa.
Wow. So here you
That's
are
for a
in
different
Dubai.
podcast.
Yeah.
Here you are in Dubai, and
By myself.
I
So it didn't
got
it got really bad. It hit rock bottom. But then it redeemed itself.
Yeah.
And here I was, the farthest I've ever been away from home, completely by myself.
Right. In a country that's, maybe not as acceptable for women as some countries are.
Exactly. There are some aspects there, but it's also extremely safe for women.
Is it?
Extremely safe.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know.
So yeah, I was there, and
I don't know if dancing on the bar table is safe, but safe.
some bars
Haas.
perhaps they have dancers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Haas, I take it back. If you want to dance on the table, go to Dubai.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
'Cause you're gonna
planning
be
on it.
safe.
It's definitely on the list, but I've always been weary of it because I always thought it was somewhat in the Middle East, and I always,
You may
I
not
thought
have all the rights, but you
I
are
wasn't
protected.
in.
kind of.
I thought I was kind
Kinda
of
like that.
unsafe traveling there, especially by myself because I do travel by myself quite a bit.
So,
Safest place.
so
One of
you
the safest
guys,
places you
so
go.
yeah.
3 days in, you guys split up. Your plan, you have to move to Plan B.
Yeah, which is I'm not leaving. I came this far.
Yeah.
I'm staying.
Yeah,
I
because
have-
what's the
it.
flight home? How many hours does it take to get home? You're here 72 hours in?
Yeah, like 14 hours.
Okay, yeah, you're right in the middle there, I mean,
So-
that's going to be a long time home.
Yeah, so I just got a different room.
Okay.
Got a different hotel room, and then I kind of was, for the first time, completely just by myself.
Which is so fun.
It's so
sometimes.
fun.
You
I
can
didn't
do
have-
whatever you want.
I didn't have to ask someone what they want to do. I could have cake for dinner.
Yeah.
I just could do whatever the
Be
hell
on
I
your own
wanted to do.
schedule, sleep in,
Yeah.
go out early.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up making me move to Dubai. I think I kind of just was like, in a weird way, reborn there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Like I found
great.
who I had been like suppressing for
That you
5
wanted to be. This was
years.
who you've been looking for
Yeah,
for
and,
all these years. Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey calls that a green light, when you can sit with yourself for hours on hours, and then if you're lucky, days on days, because a lot of people can't,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize until I started talking to people, and it's true. A lot of people cannot just be with themselves.
Yeah.
So kudos to
Yeah,
you.
that's-
Green light to you.
All right.
All right. Green light to you. Yeah, even though famous people can't be on the podcast, we do love and adore them and follow them and talk about them and everything,
Yeah.
But, in the laundry room, we need real people like you So
Yeah.
Well,
Talking
thank
about
you.
real stuff. And
Yeah.
that was a real confession. So thank you for sharing
it was.
that experience. That sounds like Dubai was a real eye-opening experience for you. So
Sure was.
that's beautiful. And our very last question for you tonight. It feels like we were drilling you with questions tonight, and we could have kept going, to be very fair. What was the last song that you listened to?
The last song I listened to, what was it in the car? Oh, probably a Rufus Du Sol song. You know
Oh,
Rufus Du
okay.
Sol?
I love Rufus.
Yeah,
I don't think I.
He's a DJ.
the two.
Oh,
The
maybe
pair.
Yeah.
I've heard a few things that pop up on my playlist because of. Oh, you may like this, but I don't know.
You may have heard of
Through-
Rufus. I don't know.
Oh, who's the guy that I think it
I
was
feel like-
through?
I feel like your daughters are could be.
They would
very
know.
Big fan.
I don't
would
know, you guys.
100%
I always
know.
put out names like, "Do you want to go to this concert with me?" And I get back, "That's a school night."
They'd know.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh.
good.
Okay,
That's
I will look
awesome.
at it. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much for
Yes,
being on and
thank
sharing
you.
your whole life story with us. This was.
We can't wait to
amazing.
have you back for part 2. How do you think? Do you feel comfortable? Do you think you'd do this again, or you
Yes,
just can't
one-
wait for it to be over?
No, 100%. I could keep talking for hours.
Oh yay!
When are you going to be back in the
We
States
love it.
then for a short stint?
Next July.
Okay.
My husband will be with me.
To celebrate July 4th, or
Would he want to be on?
he might like celebrating July 4th if he has a little riff with the English,
Yeah.
because
No,
we did back then.
that's just when we're actually going to a Rufus Du Sol concert in August. So we
How
have to
funny.
be here
Okay.
around that time. I'm sure my husband would love to do this.
We would love to have both of you on.
That'd be
Like, here
so
you
fun.
are. And
He's a talker though.
That's okay.
That's okay. That's what
we
we-
like talkers.
well,
Yeah.
you know, that's what we need on podcasts, actually. Yeah. We
You might have to slap
love
him though.
talkers.
Be like, let someone
No,
else speak.
no.
Let someone else speak.
We
okay.
we
We do
love
that a
people
lot.
to tell their stories, and it's important.
Yeah.
And like I've brought up before, we have all this social media and everything, but it seems like people's stories are dying, like in their family history and those type of things. Even though we have all of this social media,
It gets lost.
it gets lost, and we
Yeah.
need to keep that going. I think I really do. That's what makes us humans.
Yeah. No, just this interaction too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what we found so beneficial from these conversations is, like I said before we started, like everyone we have on is like, I don't know what I have to say. I don't know. There's not a lot of stories I have. You know, maybe you didn't say that per se, but you always have a story to tell. And we always love hearing about people's life stories and how we're all interconnected and how we all have similarities and differences, and just hearing everything,
Yeah.
all your
And-
amazing stories. So
and I
thank
love
you so
that
much
connection.
for sharing.
Because like you can listen to biographies about famous people and how their stories about how they became famous, which are great and they're fascinating. But sometimes and some days it's just not as relatable. Just
Yeah.
to hear somebody else's story, just
Yeah.
their story. And this
Yeah.
is where they're at in life now. So thank you so much for sharing.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me.
That was wonderful.
It was.
had
I
a
think
great
that
time.
is just a bright, clean load we just finished.
I
Like,
agree.
I know. No wrinkles, nothing.
No, perfect wash.
Perfect.
Putting those away nice and clean and wrinkle free.
So we're checking out. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, on YouTube. That's right. We're going to do video soon. So see you soon, literally.
Coming soon.
Hey, before we wrap up this spin cycle, Haas and I would like to give a quick shout out to those listeners who may be famous. We really do adore you. And even though you do not qualify as an NTRG, not the real guest, we would always love to hear from you. This is Smarge and Haas, keeping it sorted, keeping it real, from the family laundry room. Be safe, stay even, and remember, when in doubt, go half.
Thank you for listening to Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. Follow us on Instagram at Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. And if you would like to be the next Not the Real Guest, please email us at dirtylaundrycleanconfessions@gmail.com. We would love to air out the dirty laundry with you. A DLCC disclaimer. In this live pre-recorded episode of DLCC, Not the Real Names, NTRN, have been used to protect the guilty and a few of the innocent.